Well, hello there from Kaohsiung again. The last full day. I leave tomorrow. I'm gonna head down to the pier area again, but not because I want to explore the art kind of district. Mostly because I want to catch a local ferry just across to a long strip of land called Qijin. And we'll explore that a bit. But first I want to get bubble tea. And I believe they sell bubble tea down here. Let's check it out. So I just got a bubble milk tea. They said that I want fresh milk or powdered milk, so obviously I chose fresh milk. I don't know if there's much of a difference, but anyway, that's what I'm getting. It costs 60, which is about €1.75. Pretty cool. And I got extra ice, thankfully. Nice little place. So I haven't drank any of the milk tea yet, but look at that. Doesn't that just look lovely and creamy and frothy? I think it was actually a very, very good choice to get fresh milk instead of powdered milk, because it kind of looks like a milkshake, but let's try it out. Oh yeah, it's like a milkshake. Oh. And the bubbles are really big. Usually you get them, they're tiny, you know. They're like little raisins, but these are proper ones. That's why the straw is pretty big. So yeah, make my way down here. It's very hot. It's supposed to get up to 35 degrees Celsius today. Might be feeling a bit better when I'm on Qijin because it's like an island. It's a long stretch of land. Now, you can get a bus at the other end of the island, kind of. There's a bridge, but that's way too far out the way from like the main part. So I'm just going to take the ferry. No idea how much it costs, but I know the ferry goes every 10 minutes, I believe. So no problem getting there. It's just show up and buy my ticket on a machine, I'm assuming. But yeah, we're just back at Central Park now. Oh, you know, I had my breakfast this morning in the hotel, the usual, just a sandwich and, you know, bits of the usual ham, cheese, whatever they give you. But I was still full kind of from all the food yesterday because there was loads of different samples, you know, the stinky tofu. Oh, so many. I know it was really full, and then got a dessert after. I didn't film that, but it was called pineapple bread, so it's like a sweetened bread with fresh butter in the middle, like cold butter, but the bread is hot, really lovely. So Jessica told me about that. She recommended it. I could only finish half of it because I was full, but she finished the other half, so it didn't go to waste. Yeah, really lovely. Great experience, as I said last night. Thanks again, Jessica, since you're my subscriber number 250, so really appreciate it, as I told you. So yeah, let's make our way onto the pier area, down to the ferry terminal, and skedaddle over to the little island. I've arrived at the Qijin ferry pier, and I think I have to go left here because I don't have a car. I guess I can get my tickets down here as well. I'll find out when I walk down. So it's 30 cash, so 80 cent, 90 cent, something like that. So I got my little ticket now. Well, that was easy. You just throw your coins into the little box and that's it. Nothing else. As I said, 30 Taiwanese dollars, about 85 cent one way, but it's fine. It's pretty good actually. It only takes about 5 minutes to get over there, but I'm quite interested in the place. It's got an interesting little bit of history. And supposedly it's pretty nice when you get over there. So we'll go out here, get the ferry, and it brings you down left and leads you out of the harbour area, kind of. Well, that's my ferry then. Honestly, the minute I stopped recording, everybody got up and started walking, so I couldn't have timed it better. Pretty small ferry, but as I said, it only takes a few minutes to get over. Now I don't know if it's 5 minutes from when you get on or 5 minutes from when it gets out of the harbour area, but yeah. Well, here we are, Qijin, Old Town, Old Street. Oh my god, so warm on that ferry inside. The guy, it was packed outside because everyone wanted photos, of course, you know, from going across the bay, but I didn't need that. I've been on many little small ferries before, so that doesn't really do it for me anymore. But we just came out into the main part So we have a little wander around. All these food stalls out and about, and of course they have a lot of these like rickshaw drivers, you know. Obviously because this place is pretty small, like this strip of land, so it makes sense people just hop on them, get brought up and down, then head back over to the mainland. And stalls as well. I can imagine the prices over here are just a little bit more than back on the mainland, just because, you know, when people come over here, where else are they going to buy the stuff? You know, if they want something, they have to travel all the way back over, so it kind of makes sense that they bump up the prices a little bit, if they do. I don't know if they do, but it's just a calculated guess, because it usually happens. More isolated places charge a bit more. Cute little hats. See a lovely little temple over here. I think we should go check it out while it's on the kind of entrance way in. Look at this view up ahead, isn't that nice? Bubble tea, bubble tea. You know what, I should have waited until I get over here to have bubble tea, but at the same time it would have been too warm. Yeah, it would have been too warm to delay, so just a lovely little pagoda type thing, isn't it? Some woman just came out and lit incense there, so of course, being an island, seafood is the big thing here, as you'd expect. Oh, camera's a bit dirty. That's better. Seafood is a pretty big thing here, but we're not going to go on the main street just yet. We're actually going to walk down this way first. While I have the energy, instead of walking around first, I'm going to do this. This is towards the lighthouse area here. So we'll check that out. It's pretty cool looking, the photos that I've seen. Isn't it lovely, all these multicoloured buildings all around? Definitely has that kind of typical island feel, doesn't it? Like the Caribbean or something like that, you know? Really nice bright colours. It's actually pretty cheerful, you know? Something that I know, like, you know, the only thing is the bit of colour. Like the buildings themselves are not actually fantastic looking pieces of work, but it's just the colour itself, just it changes them completely. Yeah, let's check out the lighthouse. Did I mention that it was hot today? Anyway, forget about the weather. Look, I came from in there, came all the way across here. Now I've made my way up, but look at the colours. Isn't that just gorgeous? It's like a rainbow effect, isn't it? Really lovely. So the lighthouse here in Kaohsiung was actually built in the 1880s and it was built during the Qing dynasty. However, it was built by a British architect that they brought in to design it, because it's, you know, the square buildings and stuff, that's not typical of kind of like the Qing era architecture. And they built this when Kaohsiung was just starting to open up as an international trade port. So obviously they built this to help guide all of the ships into the bay. And look at the view you have up here, a big panorama of Kaohsiung. Isn't that pretty lovely? I Actually, I just noticed you've also got some colourful buildings over this side of the mainland, as opposed to just on the island side. But yeah, really lovely, really interesting. You know, because as I said, when you look at this place, it certainly doesn't look like a Qing dynasty architecture, you know. I know this is actually a terrible position to show you. I'll show you again, but we go around. But you know, see the big white square shaped buildings, that's not typical of it. So they brought this British guy in to help build it and design it. And that's a better view of the shape of it. You can see it's very squared, you know, sharp edges. It's not the biggest lighthouse, of course, but back in the day it was the only one here, so it did its job, it worked. That's why it's still standing. If it hadn't been doing its job, they would have tore it down and built a new one, a bigger one. But yeah, it's quite impressive. I think you can actually walk inside it and see some of it. It's all in Mandarin, but you know, you can just Google it and find out the information. Little cafe down there. Don't really want anything, to be honest. I'm too warm. I think even an ice drink at the moment would make me feel warmer when I finish it. There's a beach over that side. I think the beach goes all the way along, to be honest, all the way along this island. I have a better look of the place from here. Oh yeah. Ooh. Not nice. You can see the beach, it goes all the way, as far as I've seen it on the map, it actually goes all the way to the very tip of it. And I'm not sure how good it is for swimming. Now, Jessica said that this place is very popular for surfing apparently, but that's not my thing, you know. Look at that though, isn't it pretty cool? Just this big bar in the middle, this big island. So this is Qijin Fort, which is pretty cool. This was built back in the 1700s, this place. And it served as a defensive point for the north of Kaohsiung. Obviously there's not an awful lot here. School kids here, of course. But I guess that's because this is a historical place. Got a pier going all the way out here. The sea breeze is absolutely lovely on my neck. Oh, it feels like heaven. I swear. Oh. But yeah, really cool looking. Just to be able to stand here at a place that, you know, I mean, it's 300 years old, this fort. You know what I mean? It's quite remarkable to be still standing up here. I had to look out over Qijin, Kaohsiung over that way, and all the way out into the distance. You can actually walk down through the old walls of the fort here. Just imagine when this was built as the defensive point, you know, you had soldiers stationed here. I don't know what these rooms are, but I assume some of them were sleeping quarters. I don't know if you can even look in. You can, but you don't really... you can't really see anything. You can see a bit actually on the camera. As a matter of fact, you can actually see more than I can. I don't know what's in there. So it's pretty interesting, like, you know, I don't know if these are the same. I saw a bit on the camera that it looks like a, I don't know if there's like a bench or something, but as I said, now I don't actually know an awful lot about this place. This is just kind of a bonus because I came along here and it looks a bit creepy, to be honest, but I need to get my torch, yes. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know an awful lot about this fort. I didn't actually know it was up here until I came up to the lighthouse area, so it's pretty interesting to find out about it when you come up. I wish I'd have read up on it. So I was just walking out of the fort there, and they actually had a bit of information. It was the barracks area and the training ground area, so I was right, that was where they would have been sleeping, and it's pretty cool, isn't it, you know, to be going through that. But imagine like in this heat when they're walking up the mountain, all their military gear on. You know, I know they would have also had horses, in fairness, so it's not as if they would have all been walking. The leaders wouldn't, but you know, when you think of the heat, I'm struggling here in a t-shirt. I'll check down here. I'm struggling in a t-shirt, and you'd have them in all their military gear. That's hard to imagine. I know that's the case in every hot country, but this is the first time I've been in a place where it's so humid and at a military fort, so I'm kind of able to connect the little situation, you know. Down from the hill now. I've just come across a cool place called the Qijin Tunnel of Stars, and you can feel the sea breeze just coming up, but let's have a little walk and see what it's like. Oh, that breeze is incredible. Oh my god, there's kids everywhere. Hello. My god. Ah well, look, you have to let the kids have a bit of fun, don't you? It's so nice, this breeze coming straight down the tunnel. Oh, I wish I had no clothes on right now. I know that sounds very horrible, but I swear it's just that feel of the breeze coming at you. We're gonna come out now. It's a cool little tunnel. Tunnel of Stars, Qijin Tunnel of Stars. Also, this is the pier that I saw from the fort up above. So I was up there at the fort. I just want to have a quick look over here. I'm not going to walk around because it'll just bring me out by the lighthouse again, but oh my god, you've got all the cacti here, look. Oh. I would have just turned back normally and walked back into the town because I've seen the lighthouse and stuff, but I'm really taking advantage of the wind here. It's just so nice. I find the colour of the sand on this beach quite interesting. It's just like a grey colour, a bit weird. You know, it's very soft when you're walking in it. It's not like, you know, when you're walking in sand with your shoes on, it's kind of heavy and awkward. This is not. This is actually really light. It's like dust, or it's like charcoal, you know. I don't know what this is over here. This is the reason I came onto the beach. It looks like an old, I don't know. It could be a toilet for all I know. It doesn't look like a toilet. If it is a toilet, it's probably one of the worst looking toilets I've ever seen, but we're gonna just go over and have a little look. It's quite interesting looking. Looks like it's an old military building, you know, that's been like just left. Should we go in? It's very dark. bit creepy, but yeah, we have to go in, right? Let me turn on my flashlight. I don't think it's actually going to help. Well, you can't really go in, there's not much, it's very small, so I just kind of stretched in and showed you the thing, but I think it might be just an old military building that's been kind of left to the elements, that it survived maybe a bombing or something, because Kaohsiung was bombed quite a lot during World War II because of course the Japanese controlled it. So oh, what an idiot. I could have just come around and I could have just done that. Anyway, look, that looks better when you walk in, right? Is it too risky to cross here to check out this one? It's probably not worth it, but you know what? Let's just go. Whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. If I die, this is all in the name of science or entertainment, whatever. Honestly, I don't think it's much. Oh God. Well, here goes nothing. No, it wasn't that bad. I don't think it really is anything. Oh, Jesus. Okay, it's a dump. Isn't that a shame? People are just assholes, aren't they? Honestly, why would you throw stuff down there? There's bins everywhere, like, you know? Put it beside a bin in a bag or something at least. I don't know, that's just disgusting. Come on, Taiwanese people, get your act together. And if you see people doing that in Taiwan, attack them verbally, not physically. Tell them, no, you shouldn't be doing this. But yeah, that's kind of disgusting. I mean, it's such a, I guess this is this is part of the history of its defense here in Kaohsiung. But people are just coming along and throwing shit down there. I don't know, that really pisses me off. I hate that. Anywhere, no matter where it is, it's just disgusting. There's no need for it. Oh, sorry, I know I'm ranting a bit, but I do hate it, especially in like a natural area. It's just very wrong. But I am surviving at the moment. That's the main thing. You've got to be careful actually if you're around here. They've got razor wire all along up around the sides, so don't start deciding to go climbing here on the beaches of Qijin. Not worth it. You might end up with a few scars. It's quite a lovely sandy beach here, you know. Very little stones, some bits of twigs and, you know, branches and stuff that eventually just comes along naturally because you've got all these trees along the way, palm trees. But you know, Qijin is actually very, very important in Kaohsiung's history because because it's the island and it's a long island. At the time, back in the 17th century, when Kaohsiung was just a fishing village, you know, small, very, very small fishing village, this kind of served as a natural barrier to the elements and probably to people coming across that weren't so nice, you know. Maybe if there was waves or something coming in, big waves, maybe a tsunami, a small one or whatever, this kind of acted as like a barrier at first, so that maybe it lessened the devastation that it caused in Kaohsiung. So maybe without this island here, it would have taken an awful lot longer for Kaohsiung to actually become the big, powerful port area that it is today, you know. I'm sure it still would have been, but maybe it just would have delayed the process a bit, you know, if they were getting battered by waves or enemies, whatever. So yeah, it's a pretty important place, even though, you know, when I came to Kaohsiung, I saw it on the map, but I didn't really know much about it. But it's very important, yeah. We'll make our way down the beach, just walking along, but not on the sand, because sand is actually starting to go into my shoes now, and that's one of the things that I hate the most. Hate that. So that's why I'm getting onto actual dry earth, not this. I'm not quite sure what this is, but as I was walking up the park along the beach here, I just saw lots of people taking pictures. So so I might as well stop off and just have a little peek. Maybe a water feature area or something, I don't really know. See this nice colourful piece of artwork. I don't really know what it is, but it looks nice. With the construction going on, of course, everywhere I go there's construction. Oh, that's pretty nice. Just a little bit up the beach path from that I don't know what it was, but that rainbow coloured rectangle thing, there is a giant shell. It's not real, but look. Let's take a little closer look at this. It's pretty big though. Look at the size of the people beside it. Isn't that quite weird? You know? Of all things, like just a giant big plastic or whatever it is. I nearly fell there for making fun of it. It's pretty interesting though. There is little doorways in the wall. Should I go and check it? Just see what it is? Probably. I've already checked that little bunker with the dump inside it. Let's go around the back way and just see. It's lovely. It's a very tropical feel here, you know, and you've got all the palm trees, the sea. Never mind, it's not a doorway in. It's not even a little tunnel, it's just a caged off area where they've got like electrical cables. So I'm gonna just, that was my little walk along the seafront. It was very nice just walking along. I've got some classical music on. Well, not right now when I'm talking, but I had some classical music on walking up. Quite relaxing. I do like a bit of classical music every now and then. But yeah, it's a lovely walk up the beach area. Can't swim in this part. There's signs behind me saying no swimming. So I don't know whether it's too rocky. It might be because there's a few like protective barriers that they have out, like man-made ones. Some of the waves probably get a bit too angry here. But I'm gonna walk back into the town. Do you know what? I want to get some cold drink. If they have like yesterday, like when I got the passion fruit juice, or you know, something like that, that would, oh, I'd really love that right now. Oh, but I'm not making the journey all the way back there just for that, although it was amazing. So we'll find somewhere to get something cold to drink. If I'm short of options, I can just get an ice cream or something, but there should be plenty of places to get a drink. I mean, this is a seaside place. They have bars along the way, but like, you know, I know an Irish man doesn't want alcohol right now. I really don't. It's too warm. I think if I got a beer, you know, 5 minutes later, it's going to be warm when you have it, so you can't really enjoy it then. So I'll forget about that for now. I'll have a beer when I go to my next destination, which is tomorrow, by the way. I should tell you, it is tomorrow that I'm going to Jeju, the island that's just south of South Korea, although part of South Korea, of course. And then that's for 3 nights. That's the 18th to the 21st. Then I fly from Jeju to Daegu, I think it's called Daegu. It's in mainland South Korea. I have no idea anything about it. I just know it's not Seoul and I know it's not Busan, so it's a place I haven't been. Just gonna give it a try, you know. Maybe it's better to go to one of these places that are a bit less talked about, but we'll see. We'll find out in a few days. I booked my accommodation anyway, at least for Jeju, very cheap, like €10 a night, and it's like a bookstore, a cafe / guest house, so that'll do the job. I just want somewhere to sleep at night time, you know what I mean? So yeah, I have that booked now. The only thing I've got to book then is what's after South Korea, and I'm still not 100% sure, but I'm going to figure that out when I get to South Korea, unless there's always an if. But if I happen to get to the airport to check in and they say to me, have you booked your flight for leaving South Korea, I won't have booked it. So if I don't, I asked them, like, do I need it? And if they say yeah, you have to, which I didn't need one before when I went, but if they do say to me, I'll say, look, I'll come back to the check-in counter in 10 minutes. I'll go and book something, and you know, I'll figure it out. I'll just basically be into a panic booking, which might be the best thing to do. So yeah, sorry, I'm enough rambling on. Making my way this way to the right into the main kind of city area. Just came across this temple here as I was trying to get across the road to the main street. Size of these doors. Yeah, it's quite a nice little area. It's very clean. Very, very clean. It almost looks very modern, doesn't it? Anyway, just thought I'd pop by that while I was walking by. Sorry, I do keep getting sidetracked by temples. I do realise that. I can't help it, I just love them. Just love them. So I'm making my way this way and left. And there's according to Google Maps, there's a ice cream shop or ice shop. They sell drinks. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. I got lemonade and ice cream. Should be nice. Especially made by an old lady. You know, can't get better than that, can you? All sorts of desserts, cold treats. This is black tea with ice cream. So it's proper lemonade that's actually getting made, like stirred with the carbonated. That's pretty cool, isn't it? This is absolutely incredible. Now I realise the colour looks a bit strange now. That's because I mixed in the other ice cream colour. So there was vanilla. And I think it's raspberry, I really don't know, but it's fruity, it's very fruity. And the lemon, like the lemonade is pure lemon juice mixed with carbonated water, so it's real lemonade. It's absolutely, as I said, I know the colour is slightly off now because the two ice cream colours were mixing together, but I swear, it's so refreshing, oh my god. Pure lemon flavour with the creaminess of the ice cream, just, oh my god, incredible. Let's eat a little bit of the ice cream on its own. If I can, yes, I can. Oh, so good. Just don't know what it is, but it's fruit. Oh my god, €2 for that. Really good. Less than €2, less. So I'm just making my way back towards the ferry terminal now. Geez, I'll tell you, that lemonade was the best lemonade I've ever had. With the ice cream, unbelievable. Oh, I swear, when I had that, when you look at that cup, maybe it doesn't come across on camera, I don't know. But that was about a litre. I'd say a litre, close to a litre. 900 mils. You know, that was filling. There was 3 chunks of ice cream, or 3 chunks, 3 scoops of ice cream put in, 2 vanilla and 1 of that raspberry kind of one. Yeah, I couldn't believe it, like, you know. My mouth is still watering thinking about the lemon juice. I'm gonna head back towards the ferry here. It's just around to the right, but yeah, you can see this is kind of the old street where we passed by it to go that way when we first came in. But you know, of course they have a lot of traditional things. Like they have the shaved ice, which is kind of compulsory in these hot places. I don't really want to walk up there, but I haven't done it yet, so maybe I should. I don't know. Alright, let's go. Why not? Aloe vera juice. Not really ice cream. I like aloe vera, but it's, you know, it's a bit of a strong smell. It's the smell that I don't like, especially when it's like in the hand gels, you know, stuff like that. And the smell just kind of lingers for hours afterwards. At least to my nose it does. Steamed dumplings, bubble tea, bao buns. That is steamed dumpling is bao, I believe. Obviously crane machine games, because would you really be in an Asian country without them? Nah. At least the Asian countries I've been in. Cloth bags, more clothes. I mean, it is, when you look around, it's kind of a typical touristy shopping street, isn't it? all the juices. Oh, don't get me started. Chicken, fried food, donuts, you know, it's all kind of, I know it's always similar, but then again, if you're here for a big day out, just say you're going to be here in the morning till the evening, that's great then, because you can get your snacks, you can get your proper food, you know, get your drinks, your ice cream. So it is a good idea. It's just that I'm not really into the whole touristy thing. Well, I am a tourist, but I'm not into the whole, you know, going shopping, buying like bags, buying hats, buying, you know, whatever. I've bought enough hats on this journey so far because I keep losing them. Another catch game machine shop. Clothes. A lot of juice drinks, obviously, just because of the weather. And I mean, it is a tropical place, so it kind of makes sense. So yeah, nothing I really want to buy. I swear, you know, I'm not even hungry. That's the weird thing. I can't be hungry with the heat. I was only saying that yesterday to Jessica. She said, yeah, it's very hard to eat with when the heat is like this. So I said, you know, I can only eat like small amounts. It's just too warm. You can't, I don't know, because food is hot always, so it makes it worse. At least for me, you know. No, do you know what? I think I'm going to head back towards the ferry terminal. I'm going to start heading back. But yeah, this has been Qijin. I really liked it here. It's a nice place to walk around. As I said, that beach was lovely. The lovely colourful houses. I don't want to die crossing the road. Lovely colourful houses. All the, you know, it has been an interesting history as well to it, so it's pretty good. It's a good day trip out. I mean, I got about 6 hours here, so when you think of it like that, you know, it costs $1 basically to come across on the ferry. So for a $2 return, you get a day trip. You can't really complain about that. So yeah, it's a very nice place. I said it's very different vibes than Kaohsiung main city, you know, although it's right beside it really. It's a 5-minute ride on the bus. It has like it certainly has much more of a tropical kind of a beach town vibes, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's a really interesting place. I do like the atmosphere. Everyone's in a good humour, especially down by the beach, you know, people walking around. Everyone's always happy when they're at a beach, aren't they? Well, I'm not. I don't like beaches. Most normal people are happy when they're at the beach. So yeah, I suppose that'll call it a day from our time over here, from our little day trip. I'll head back now anyway. I do need to pack my stuff later because I don't want to be unpacking or packing in the morning when it's early, you know. I don't want to be waking people up or anything, so I like to do it the day before, have it out of the way, done, so when I wake up tomorrow I just have to shower and go. So yeah, thanks for joining me on my little exploration today. It's quite an interesting town, as I said a few times, but I will catch you in the next one. And the next one I'll be leaving, unfortunately I'll be leaving Taiwan, leaving Kaohsiung. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.